Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a mixed message that we've been getting out of the White House, where, this is the best economy we've ever been, which is why we've got to cut rates dramatically. I think Steve's reporting. Please, Liesman, cover your ears for a second, because I really hate paying you compliments. But your reporting on this has been really excellent, and I think very insightful for CNBC viewers. Steve is sending a message here that maybe they are going to pause, that maybe this is a mid-cycle adjustment, as the Fed said it would be. And I think, we've seen short-term volatility in this market, but longer-term stocks have marched higher. I think that trend in the path of least resistance is still higher, though, the economic data are a bit more wobbly.
Steve Grasso, I'm looking at the Dow today. It's up 21 points. The NASDAQ up 1/3%. Everybody said that one of the bricks in the wall of worry was Brexit. Has Brexit made any difference today at all?
Sure. I think Brexit right out of the gates made a difference, but there's so much green ahead for Brexit that there's too much unknown. I never want to say that it's a done deal, because past performance has been indicative of future potential, and we've seen all the Brexit hopes fall flat on its face. I guess I have to compliment Steve Liesman's reporting as well. Michael's going to make me look bad if I don't do that.
It's been here for Liesman.
It's been exceptional. It's been off the charts, best ever, Steve Liesman. Having said that, the market is looking forward to October.
Yeah,
if that doesn't happen,
I think it's a done deal. The question I think I have, Stephen, by the way, thank you both for your compliments. It's just the job that I do here. But anyway, here's the thing, that 83% probability, it could be a little on the high side. Now, I think what happens here to defend the market is, I think it's a binary thing, that if there's a 51% probability it happens, the market prices up to a 90% probability it's going to happen, right? That it's either on or it's off, and you don't make a sort of in-between bet really very, very well. I don't think that in the 50% probability stands very long.
Didn't it go from 50 or something to 70?
It was there for a while. It was there for a while. Let me just finish the thought real quick, which is that is in and around right. But the idea of a pause, I think, is for sure. And Michael Farr talking is important because Michael knows the chairman well. And I think that when Jay Powell stepped up and said mid-cycle adjustment, despite how the market reacted, I think he meant that. And I think that Jay Powell may be in favor, and Michael, please tell me if I'm wrong here, Powell would not be averse to going into an easing cycle. But at the moment in his mind, this is not that. And there's going to be a pause between going from mid-cycle adjustment into easing cycle, and the market has to get in its head that they're not going to follow each other. One is not going to transmogrify into the other one.
I mean, Michael Farr, don't you think that the S&P 500 is close to 3,000 today and remains close to 3,000 for days now because of that 84% chance that the Fed is going to cut interest rates in 2 weeks?
I'm not so sure, frankly. I'm not so sure at all.
So if we had if all of a sudden that dropped, or some Fed speaker came out and said, you know what, we're not going to do anything, the markets would have no reaction.
You know what, Melissa, I mean, I think if you listen to what, Steve was saying about Charlie Evans, and when you hear about the Dallas Fed president, what we're going to hear from Clarita probably is backing that off a little bit. And we haven't seen the market react too badly to all of that. There's so many swirling headlines. It's tough to tell what, the market's paying attention to minute here, or what the algos are going to go to take the next 100 points one way or the other. But to Steve's point about Jay Powell is a lawyer. Jay Powell is lawyerly. He speaks like a lawyer. He's careful. But if he says that this is a mid-cycle adjustment, those words are being chosen carefully. He might go to an easing. He hasn't done that yet. And I think the pause is here.
Michael, he also has said that he's data dependent. So you have to pick your poison here, right, Melissa?
I think it can be
both. That's the line from Fast Money. So you have to say, is it the ISM that have been the weakest in 3 years, or is it positive trade headlines that are going to dictate his further action going forward when you're talking about Jay Powell?
But it's one piece of data, right? I mean, one piece of data.
Final thought, please.
Yeah, I just want to add to what Michael says about the lawyerly thing. In the legal system, precedent matters.
Yes.
How many times has Powell told us that he's following the model of 95 and 98 and the mid-cycle adjustments? 3 rate cuts, okay? And then a pause. And then a pause. So I think that this is a key insight that Michael just provided to Powell's thinking that I think the markets have missed. is that Powell's going to do this in a way that draws on precedent. Times may change, but a decision-making process is one that, if uses precedent, can remain.